Hello and welcome to Dave's Delightful Dishes. And as always, I'm Dave, and it is such a delight to have you here visiting me in my kitchen. And today, I have a request from a friend, and we're going to go play on the grill. Let's check it out. So a friend of mine from one of my the online game that I have on my phone, you know, the guys in my group are people. It's not just guys, it's guys and girls. It's an international server, and I got people from all over the world in my group, and they're aware of this show and that I'm a cook. So one of the guys named Thunderstorm, who's I believe German, but he's living in Holland right now, or he's in Holland right now, said, "Hey, I want to grill something tonight. Do you have any recipes?" And yeah, I do. So here's one for you. He specifically wanted chicken, and he was looking for chicken legs. So what I'm going to do is a honey garlic chicken, and I'm going to do chicken legs and chicken thighs because I really like chicken thighs. But you can just use whatever piece of chicken you like for this. It's really quick. It's really easy. We just have to do a little bit of marinating in advance. So this is a recipe you want to do in the morning just to get everything ready, but it needs at least an hour. But the longer you let it sit, the better the flavor is going to be. So you're going to use these ingredients. And you can see how few those are. And we're going to make a meal. So to begin with, you can use any container you like, but what I find is I like using a plastic bag when I'm marinating. It works well for me. And these guys have a gusset, although I'm going to just go ahead and put it into a bowl so it doesn't slide sideways on me. And I'm going to take that honey, the soy sauce, and my apologies, I live in the United States, so we're on the imperial system. And Thunderstorm, I know that you're on the metric system, so I'm going to, just below, I'll put in the different volumes in metric, because I certainly can't do the conversions in my head. I very rarely use the metric system. And then I've got lemon juice and cider vinegar. So we take a half a cup of honey. You can I'm using from my local apiary, and my friend Katie in Maryland has her own apiary. So if you happen to be in Maryland, you can look hers up. I will link her place in the description. But you'll find that there are bees everywhere. Support your local bees. If we don't have them, we don't have food. So that's a half a cup there. And a quarter cup of soy sauce. Everything else goes in a lot easier. It's the honey that you fight. The lemon juice, it's the juice of one lemon. It ends up being about 2 tablespoons, unless you got a really massive lemon. Concentrate would be okay there too. 3 cloves of garlic, minced. When I've got minced garlic, I almost always use the pre-minced stuff. But if all you have is the fresh, just get chopping with that knife. And then a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Give that all just a quick stir since I've got what is now a dirty device in here. And that is in the bowl. So now I can take my chicken. And remember, chicken hands. My hands are clean right now, but as soon as I touch the chicken, then my hands are not clean. So I'm going to use the one hand and drop the chicken pieces into my marinade. And then I'm going to go wash my hands, and I'll get back to you just for the sealing of the bag. Although honestly, I think you don't need to see me seal the bag. I'll get back to you this evening when it's time to put it on the grill. We put this, we mix this up a little bit. You mix it together to make sure that everything gets coated, and it's going to go in your refrigerator for at least an hour. Beyond that, it's however long you want it to do. I wouldn't do it more than overnight, but at least an hour. So I'll see you guys later. All right, so while that's marinating, we're going to put together a quick tomato and cucumber salad. So using all fresh ingredients, most of which I was able to get out of my own garden, to have as our side. We're also going to have corn, which is quietly, slowly boiling back there. So it'll be on the cob or off the cob. I haven't decided yet, but you basically start off by cooking the corn. So that's going, and that'll be there with dinner. But in the meantime, you need a bowl, and you need these ingredients. Now, I've taken these cherry tomatoes, which all came out of my garden. I've got a bunch of different types of cherry tomatoes. Heck, I've got a pretty good-sized garden. Remind me to send you pictures of it at some point. But this is going to drop in. I've halved them. And if you got ones that are much bigger, you could always quarter them if they're outside of bite size. You can see these yellow pear ones are getting close. And then I have a cucumber, what I did, you can eat the skin, but just for looks, I took my peeler and I made it so it's stripy, and then I cut it into little discs. And that goes in. And then I have olive oil. Again, the amounts will be in the description. White wine vinegar, but you can use red wine vinegar, or really any vinegar you like here. I'd probably stay away from balsamic, but any other one. 2 tablespoons of diced red onion. 2 tablespoons of dill, fresh, which I've chopped. Salt and pepper to taste. I want to get some of the moisture out of it, so I'm going to do a heavy pinch. Call it a 1/4 teaspoon. I can always add more later when we're tasting it, an hour or two down the road. And then a nice grind of fresh ground black pepper. Now I'm going to give this a stir. And then this is going to go into the refrigerator to just kind of come together. Very, very, very simple. I mean, most salads like this should be. If you wanted to cut the vinegar flavor and make it a little sweeter, you could. You could add a teaspoon of sugar. What you could also do is you could make this into a creamy one by adding some yogurt or sour cream. But I personally, that's not my favorite way to do it, so I'm going to keep it as a vinegar one. And oh wow, there's just something about fresh dill. Now the gentleman that I am making this video for, Thunderstorm, he's German, so I'll bet you he's going to like himself some dill. Oh yeah. So now this has got to get together. That's going to go in the refrigerator, and then we are going to get back together as soon as it's time to light the grill. Okay, welcome back, and we are just about ready to get going with this. So I've got a plate to put my chicken on. And here's the chicken with the marinade. Now, this is going to get dirty on your hands, so be ready to wash your hands right afterwards, because this is just one big raw chicken party in there. But I got to take the chicken out, all the pieces, and we're not going to save this marinade. This marinade has done its job, so I'm going to either throw it in the garbage or pour it down the sink, depending on what your sewage situation is. But this is going to go away, and then we have our chicken ready to go get on the grill. So let's head out there, get that fire lit, and we'll get going. Okay, so if you have a propane grill or an electric one or infrared or whatever, no problem. They will all work fine for cooking the chicken. But for me, I've always been a fan of charcoal. I do love these Weber grills. And as much as I've used other ones, and I have had them all, and I've had smokers, this is still my favorite way of cooking food outside over fire. So it's on, it's ready to go. I like cheating as I do it, so I'll use my blowtorch. Oh, and by the way, welcome to my backyard. And now we got to let this fire go until the coals have gotten red and the flames have died down. Then we'll spread out, put the grill on, and we're going to be ready to start cooking. All right, things are nice and hot, ready to go, and it's time to put the chicken on. And I'm going to lay these around the grill. And then the lid goes on, and I'm going to let these go for 10 minutes on each side as a beginning. And then from there, then I'll do some temperature checks to see if it needs to go longer. But 20 minutes should be plenty with a fire of this heat. If you're using a propane grill, I'd say probably like medium to medium-high heat. I wouldn't go too high because you'll end up just burning the skin. All right, we are pretty close to that first flip, so let's give ourselves a look. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna flip them, because I'd rather flip them again than have a real carbonized. See how that's starting to blacken up because that's closer to the middle of the flame? But they're still pretty soft. They definitely are gonna need more time. All right, so now I'm gonna go another 10 minutes. And then from there, we will see where we're at. But it's basically just gonna be flipping now until they're ready to come off. Okay, so we are on the final bit here. Let me have a look. And oh wow, look at that. You've got that golden brown, a little bit of black too, because it is out on the grill. But that's not a big deal. We are cooking with honey. But these are firm to the touch. I will put the thermometer on them when I get them inside, and if they need to go back out, they can. But these are looking pretty much ready to go. And they smell really good from here, so I'm kind of excited about this. And I hope you are too. All right, we'll see you inside. All right, let's go ahead and finish this up. So I've got my corn on the cob. I decided to leave it on the cob. And we're going to take, specifically, a nice thigh. And I'm going to lay that out on the plate. And then you may have seen in the ingredient picture at the beginning, you saw that there was some green onion and some sesame seeds. So I've got those chopped up and put right here. And I'm going to put a little bit of that on top for garnish. And then here comes my cucumber and tomato salad to go next to it. Portion size, however much makes you happy. I could easily eat this whole bowl. And that's got lots of fresh dill, so it doesn't really need an extra garnish on it. Just make sure you got a little bit of everything on it. And wow, the smell of this is just, it's making me salivate just sitting here in front of it. And it's really delightful. Okay, so this, minus the marinating part, was 20 minutes on the grill and 20 minutes of boiling. So within a half hour at dinner time, this can be dinner for you. Now the ingredients are not very many. They're easy to find. You can get them in almost any store. So you should really give this one a try. And to my friend Thunder, I know you tried it because I gave you the recipe. Let me know if yours came out looking like mine. I hope to talk to you later. And to all the rest of you in my group, everyone in one, you know who you are. There's 96 of you, so I'm not going to name every name. But I've been looking forward to talking with you about this video later. And for the rest of you, by all means, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. You can check out all the ingredients for my recipes in the comments as well. And in the description. And in the description is also the link to my Facebook page for Dave's Delightful Dishes, as well as my Instagram, which are good places to get in contact with me. And I'll post things that are up and coming, and sometimes behind the scenes footage, and just different stuff that I think is interesting for everybody. And you can also check out my Spreadshirt app there, which is a good place to get my merch, which is aprons and coffee mugs, and go check it out. There's all kinds of things. You know you want a t-shirt with my face on it. Anyhow, if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you at the next recipe.